Math 6, Module 5, Lesson 17, from nets to surface area. Should look like I've already done a little surface area. So let's see what we're doing here. I think we're probably going to go into some triangles, though. It says, write a numerical expression for the area of the figure below. And we're going to explain and identify different parts of the figure. All right? So first of all, we need to talk about how do you find the area of a triangle. Area of a triangle is what? Right, base times height divided by 2. Or what? I don't know why it's making such a big mark here. Or we can say half the base times the height. Okay? Now, if we did that, how would you figure this triangle out? What would you consider the base and the height here? Okay, the height is 12. Base is 14. So, half the base times the height. 7 times 12 is 84 centimeters squared. Does everybody see that? Are you taking notes on that? All right. How would you write an equation that shows the area of the triangle with a base? Okay, so we already did all of that. We've done all of A1 and A2 right there. Just find an area, all right? All right. Page 2. It says use the net to calculate the surface area of the figure. Note, all measurements are in centimeters. Do you see? Wait a second. Let me go back here. So this is what was messing up earlier. See, if I go back to the page on page 1, do y'all see the part B? See, it wasn't showing up for me a while ago. And now when I went back to it, it's there. All right, let's go back to part B. Sorry. Write a numerical expression for the area of the figure below. How do we find the area of a rectangle? Area equals length times width, which is the same thing as base times width, right? Or base times height. So we would write area is equal to 18 times 28. Actually. And what would that be? Anybody know? 504 feet squared. All right, now we're good. Now looking at example 1, if I bring up example 1, okay. So when it says that all of the measurements are in centimeters, what does that mean? I don't see any numbers. Yeah, each one of the little squares is a centimeter. So we would have 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 2, right? So now it says we're going to calculate the surface area. So you need to take each area and write it out in the little box. And what I mean by that is you would say 2 times 1. This would be 2 times 1. This would be 2 times 2. This would be 2 times 1. This would be 1 times 2. And this would be 2 times 2. Now, that way you know you've calculated every portion of the box. Now, all you have to do is pull these out and say, I have 1, 2, 3, I have 4 2 times 1s, plus I have 2 2 times 2s. Does everybody see how I did that? So now I have 4 times 2 plus 2 times 4, and that is 8 plus 8 is equal to 16 centimeters squared. It's the length. No, that's no fun. That's no fun. All right. Now, for example 2, what is our problem there? Our problem is we have triangles. Now, is it really a problem? Divide? What do you mean? All right, so what I would do is I have this as the height, right? What is the height? What's the height? 2. What's the base? 3. Now, if I know that a triangle is half the base times the height, right? How many of those triangles do I have? 4, right? So I can say 4 times 1/2 times 3 times 2, and I would get what? What's half of 4? What's 2 times 3 times 2? So I'm going to have 12 feet squared. Now that's just my triangles. Now I've got to find the area of the square. How do we find the area of the square? Length times width. So that would be 3 times 3, which is 9. Now I can add those together and I get 21 feet squared. Everybody understand that? Anybody confused so far? Now there's several different ways you could have done that. You could have counted up and done each triangle, added it together, that type of stuff, right? You see now why you can't just count the boxes? How are you going to count those boxes in the triangle? It's a little bit more complicated, isn't it? All right, let's look at page 3. All right, 1 and 2. Okay, there we are. Well, this looks like the exact same thing. It says name the solid the net would create. So we got to take this 2-dimensional and tell what it is as a 3-dimensional. What is the solid called? What? Not a triangular. Not a prism. Are y'all looking at on page 3, number 1? A squared cube. So it's a pyramid, but it is, we wouldn't say it's a squared pyramid. We would call it a what? Rectangular. Rectangular pyramid. A square is a special type of rectangle. Square is a special type of rectangle. A rectangle is a special type of square. Think about that. Square has to have all the same length of sides. A rectangle will not. No, the square is the special one. Because it specifically has all the same sides. Okay, now we have a rectangular pyramid. And what else are we supposed to do? Write the expression for the surface area. All right, so we're just going to write an expression. We have what? 4 triangles, which is 4 times half the base times the height, plus 1 what? Square, right? So here, you could do the side squared, right? That would be length times width by doing side squared, because it's a square. Now, I guess we got to count these up, right? This is 4, and the height would be 3. So 4 times 1/2 times 4 times 3 plus 4 squared. Well, that's 16. And this is how much? 2, 8, 24. 28 plus 6, or 24 plus 16 is 40 centimeters squared. Is that what everybody got? Everybody say how we're doing that. Take the shapes that are together, or that are the same, multiply them by how many you got, and then find the other shape. All right, so here we have 2 by, I can't really even see those lines, by 5. And then we have a 5 by 5. We got a 2 by 5. We got a 2 by 5, 2 by 5, and 5 by 5. All right, so now then, we would have 2 times 5, 5 times 5, 2 times 5, 2 times 5, and then a 5 by 5, and a 2 by 5. So how many 2 by 5s do we have? 4. And then how many 5 by 5s do we have? 2 5 by 5s. Okay? And I know this is going to be a box, right? Because it has 6 sides. So this would be 50, what is this? 40 plus 50 is equal to 90 centimeters squared. Is everybody good with that? Everybody say what we're doing. Because if you don't understand what I'm doing, you're going to be very confused for your homework. Well, tomorrow you're going to do it. Okay. All right, page 4. All right. What is this shape? Oh, wait. We didn't talk about the last shape. What was the last shape called? Yep, rectangular prism. So this is a rectangular prism. All right. What is this one going to be called? Rectangular pyramid. Because there's no top, right? It just comes to a point. So let's write out our measurements. What is that? 4. Is that 4 too? 4. And okay. So now we have 4 triangles, and I know that that is half the base times the height. Plus, I have one. Uh-oh. Nope, can't do that. See there, Mr. Anderson, about messed up because this is not a square. So this is a 4, and then this is a 3, and it's still 4 high. So now I got 2 different shapes. Or not 2 different shapes, 2 different sizes of triangles, right? So I have 2 that are half the base times the height, plus 2 other ones that are half the base times their height, plus 1 rectangle, length times width. Okay? So now I have 2 times 1/2, and the base is 4, and the height is 4. And then I've got the other one that's 2 times the half times the 3 base times the 4 height triangle plus 4 times 3. And if we do that, that is 16 plus 12 plus 12. And that is 40 centimeters squared. Everybody got it? All right, let's look. What is this one? Rectangular prism. Which means I'm going to have 2 times length times width plus 2 times length times width. And we have 1. And how wide is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then our 1, so this is going to be 6, and this is by 5. And so that means we also have our plus 2 length times widths, right? That's 6 sides. So let's keep counting these up. These are 5, 1, 6, 1, 5. And then this is a 5 by 6. Okay. So we have, let's start with our big part first here. This is a 5 by 6 and a 5 by 6. So we have 2 5 by 6s. So now we can scratch those out. Now we have, let's start up here, 1 by 6, and we have a 1 by 6 right here. So now we have 2 1 by 6s. Oh, not 1 by W's, 1 by 6. So scratch those out. Now we have the 1 by 5. Let's make sure that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So plus 2 times 1 by 5. Well, this is 2 times 30 is 60. Plus 2 times 6 is 12. Plus 2 times 5 is 10. Which is equal to about, what, 82 centimeters squared. I got it?